On today's Glory Days show, baseball spring training is in full swing. So today we're going to talk about hockey. We'll have hockey blogger Brian Gallof talk about the Islanders.
And what about the rest of the NHL? Who are you going to call on this show? There's only one go-to guy, and that's
the
Pete
detective.
The detective, Pete Torgerson.
All right. And in our Did You Hear About segment, we've got not one, but two stories about girls' high school basketball, neither of which is very flattering.
So sit back and relax. Glory Days is coming up right now. EatReview.com. Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, February 28th, 2015, and you are watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani. This is my good buddy, Bruce Oler. And you are, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass today, and you are joining us on the Enravio TV network, where we broadcast to the world from the Enravio studios at the Village Music Shoppy right here in beautiful Mastic, Long Island, in the great state of New York.
Yes, the great state of New York.
Man, oh man, how happy are we that today is the last day of February.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know about March being any better, to tell you the truth. There's very little grass that you can see around there, you know?
I've had it.
Yeah.
I really have.
We all have.
You know, at least for the last couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks, we've been having this, we might get snow, we might not get snow, a little dusting here, whatever. It's just so cold, nothing can melt.
And you know, when you're walking outside, it's got all its snow and the wind is blowing, man, it just keeps it cold, is what it does, you know?
Yeah, I'm getting sick of it.
Well, you're heading down to Florida, aren't you?
I'm heading down to Florida. I'm going to be up close and personal with David Wright and Matt Harvey and all those guys.
Yeah, that should be good.
It'd be really cool. Hopefully I can get...
Can you throw me in your suitcase there? You know?
No, you know what?
Maybe I'll be a stowaway.
They charge you for baggage on Delta.
I'll pay for the bag, you know.
Yes, I'm going down Tuesday, so we're not going to be here next week. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm going down with my brother and my nephew, and we're going to play some golf, and going to spend a lot of time in spring training Port St. Lucie.
I see.
And
Spend a lot of time, huh?
Yeah.
I remember going through, just after I got married, and we're going through we went to Canada is what we did, you know. So they ask you a question, are you bringing anything into this country that you plan on leaving in this country? You know.
Oh, really? Is that what they ask you?
Yeah, it's one of the things they ask you. You know, and of course, you know, trying to be a funny guy, I said, sure. Lots of money is what I said. Next thing you know, they said, please step over to the side here, and they had a little interview with me. And Chris is like, why did I marry this knucklehead, is what she's thinking, you know.
They don't appreciate us.
No, they don't.
Americans up there.
But when you said you're going to spend I thought you were going to spend a lot of money. You're going to spend a lot of time down there.
I hope to spend a lot of time doing nothing down there.
Okay, that's good.
I want to just relax. And I showed you this morning on my weather app.
Yes.
It is right now 70 degrees.
And most of the week is going to be 80.
It is going to be 84 on Tuesday, 86 on Wednesday, and 88 on Thursday.
And then Friday, you don't know what Friday's going to be like, and that's the day that Matt Harvey will
It doesn't matter. I might be dead by then. I don't know what happens to your body going from, 10 degrees to 23 degrees.
Yeah.
You know. All righty. Shall we get to...
Let's, it's cold enough in here. Let's talk hockey. Okay, let's talk hockey.
All righty. 2 years ago at this time, the Islanders were making some noise and fighting for a playoff spot. After a rousing performance against the mighty Pittsburgh Penguins in the playoffs, they lost 3 overtime games. They took a huge step backwards last year, missing the playoffs by a large margin.
Well, of course, the virus was hurt.
Right, that's true.
Didn't help them out.
But with much lower expectations as this season began, General Manager Garth Snow engineered a number of great moves to solidify the goaltending, the back line, and now they're not only fighting for a playoff spot, they're fighting for the top spot in the division.
And the conference.
In the last year at Nassau Coliseum, the Islanders have already had 17 sellouts. And they have a real good opportunity to do some damage in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And do you know, with their win last night, they assured themselves of an over 500 record.
Yeah,
with 19 games left.
That's a low bar, man. You know, we want a lot more than that, man, than a 500 season.
Okay, on our phone is a man with over 10,000 Twitter followers and has been following and reporting on the Islanders for a number of years. And he's a blogger for thefourthperiod.com.
Yeah.
Please welcome to Glory Days, Brian Gallof. Brian, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hey, is it Gallof? Am I pronouncing the name right?
Correct.
All right, cool. How are you, man?
I'm still recovering. I went outside shooting photos last night. I'm still thawing out.
I see.
I did. I saw the photos you posted today. Man, it's cold out there.
Did you go to the game last night?
No, I've actually been recovering. All of you were saying, thank God, the end of February.
Yes.
Mine is the same. I have the same philosophy, and it's just because I got hit with like the flu and then bronchitis, and I couldn't shake it, and I've only stopped the medication like 2 days ago. So I finally went out last night and took some shots, but I haven't been able to get to any of the games for the last month just because I've been trying to recoup.
Well, we'd like to have people in the studio, but with a cold, I guess I'm glad you're not here for us today. You know? Good to stay home.
Yeah, so I should be back at the games next week, but unfortunately this week I wasn't at the game.
So the Islanders have played a remarkable amount of games since the All-Star break. I think Howie Rose mentioned last night something about 17 in 33 days or something.
Something like that.
That's a ridiculous pace.
I think I can't understand this. You know, the Islanders have games in hand against the Rangers, and you know, the Rangers were tied with the Islanders until last night, and now the Islanders are ahead of them again. But now we're back to 3 games in hand that the Rangers have on them. You know,
and the Islanders are playing again tonight.
I know. So are the Rangers. The Rangers are playing Philadelphia tonight.
So tell us something about what you do there, Brian. What how'd you get involved in? Blogging, what kind of access do you have? Do you get to talk to players? Do you get to? Is it just opinionated? What do you do?
It's a little bit of everything. About 8 years ago, I was posting on the hockey message boards, and I felt I was writing out full blogs in these posts, and there was an opportunity to write some blogs on another site. And the first blog I wrote, nobody responded to. And the second blog I wrote was after the playoffs versus Buffalo, all those years ago, when the fans had thrown bottles onto the ice. They had gotten irate, and you saw a little bit of the dark side of the Islander fan base. And I had a little bit of a Hunter S. Thompson reaction.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Tell me about
Fear
that.
and Loathing on Long Island. And that post kind of put me on the map, and ever since it's been, I've written for HockeyBuzz.com, I've written for the Huffington Post, I've written for CBS New York, I've written for lots of different places, and it really doesn't matter, like, the places. It's really been, I've been able to collect a lot of fans and a lot of people who tend to follow, whether it's my Instagram or on my Twitter or even the Facebook account. And what they get from me is more of a kind of a big picture look. I don't really get to, 3 losses in a row. You'd see a lot of people panic and have that reaction, and I'm a little bit more logical, and I'm a little bit more laid back in my view of it. And usually, in most cases, that tends to be the right way to look at it, rather than going through the roller coaster of the emotion.
So let's talk for a second about Garth Snow. Talk about roller coasters. Garth Snow was a guy who 2 years ago, 3 years ago, was being vilified as the worst mistake ever, worse than Mike Milbury, and all of a sudden he was able to make a couple of moves this year that were just off the charts. I mean, everybody was just saying, how did he do that? How was he able to do that? So what changed with Garth Snow? How was he able to do these things?
I don't think it was Garth Snow as much as it was the salary cap that basically put these other teams in a bad position, and he was opportunistic is what he was.
Well, yes, they've planned on this opportunity for a while, but you got to understand something about Garth Snow, despite the vilification. When Garth Snow took over and Neil Smith was fired out, and it became a punchline.
Right.
Garth Snow, methodically, at the time, they were doing this committee system with Ted Nolan and everybody else. Garth Snow, during that season in 2008, they saw, when they failed to make the playoffs that year and everything fell apart, they realized they had to rebuild. And Garth was given that path and that room by Charles Wang. Once he had that, he rebuilt the cupboards. The Islanders have the most players playing NHL games as draft picks since 2006 in the NHL, and it's been consistent. They have a fantastic draft. They've rebuilt their pool, and unfortunately, the cupboards were so bare from Milbury. It took years and years and years for this to rebuild. This rebuild has actually taken a long time. He's also not cut many corners to do that.
One of the things that we like about the makeup of this team is the fact that finally, for once, if somebody gets hurt or somebody goes down, we're not bringing up a Scrabini to take his place. We've got a strong pool of talent to pick from. And
exactly.
Our next guest, the guy who is going to be on after the next break, Pete Torgerson, was a big hockey fan, and he understands hockey more than anybody I've ever met. He loves the fact of the fourth line of the Islanders.
Well, they got
they're the best
great
fourth line in the league.
They made some great moves. Halak is a great move. I mean, the two defensemen they got. But if you look at the rest of that team, it's a lot of homegrown talent. Is really what it is,
And it's all about character and grit. And if you look at that fourth line and talking to some of the Islanders behind the scenes, they really point to the person that made the fourth line really transcend is Clutterbuck.
Mm-hmm.
Clutterbuck is, if you take Clutterbuck and move him off that fourth line, yeah, they're okay, they're good, but they're not the best in the league. Clutterbuck makes it, and Clutterbuck was picked up as a reaction. You had mentioned the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes.
Which, actually a lot of Penguin fans and a lot of Penguins bloggers were very afraid of the Islanders, and they actually gave them a lot of anxious moments, even though they fell short. But the Islanders learned something from that, what they needed, and that's why Nino was traded for Clutterbuck. Right. Clutterbuck is the piece they felt that was needed in the playoffs where you see that value. And you're already seeing it on the fourth line.
One thing that during the heyday, the glory years of the cup-winning teams, we read. I remember reading something in the paper. They were talking to Wayne Merrick, and Wayne Merrick had just had a great game in the playoffs. And Wayne Merrick said something that always stuck with me. He says, this is such a great team. We've got that, you've got Gillies and Trottier and Bossy and Billy Smith. He says, I don't see the other coach saying, okay, we got to worry about Wayne Merrick.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And that's kind of what's happening here. You have to concentrate on the player, the Boychuk and Letty and getting to Halak. He says, and you really, you not that you don't concentrate on that, but you can't. You just can't. That's what makes this team, that's what is making this team not fall into that lose 5 out of 6, lose 7 out of 9. Yep. That's just not happening anymore.
What he's talking about is there's more dimension to the team.
Yes, that's the word, my friend.
And there's a lot of that dimension to this team. Matt Martin can get some goals. He's not just the guy who can throw some punches.
Right.
Clutterbuck can get some goals. Zizekas can get some goals.
Well, that's what made up until they brought Clark Gillies up to the line with Trottier and Bossy. the Islanders couldn't get it done. They couldn't just bring somebody up to protect Mike Bossy on the first line. They needed a guy who could score goals.
Yes, that's true.
And protect him at the same time. And that's what made the difference.
You need the rounded skill sets. You can't have one dimension. It falls flat every time, even back then and even in this new NHL.
So Brian, the trade deadline is Monday. Do you expect the Islanders to make any moves?
Actually, no, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I do either. I mean, what I've read is basically the moves they made back in October. You know, bringing in Leddy, bringing in Boychuk, and getting Halak. Those were the moves that they had to make, and they made them well before the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and also it has to do with they've given a lot of draft picks in those moves deliberately. They knew what they could spend. They only know now, unless something goes into their lap very cheaply. Let's talk about maybe a third rounder or a fourth rounder, and only if that player they view as an improvement to their depth, and some of that depth is actually very good. That's the only way a trade, some sort of trade happens. And those I speak to saying, don't be surprised if nothing happens.
Yeah.
So, and some people seem to be panicking over that, which I don't understand. This is an Islander team building up and on the cusp, not at the closing of their window. You're seeing panicked teams making these power moves and overpayment because they have a closing window of opportunity. The Islanders don't have a closing window of opportunity. This is the beginning. So I've noticed that the fans seem to panic when the Islanders don't make a move, but I can definitely understand that they can't afford.
I could think that we're pretty happy with this.
Yeah,
team
we're not panicking at all.
I would hope they wouldn't make a move. I would hope at this point they don't make a move because I don't want to mess with the chemistry on this team right now.
That's right. The fact that Oposo is out, he'll come back. That'll be like an injection of a big trade.
That is true too.
So.
And hopefully Grabowski comes back.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to really
That's already
happen.
his second concussion this year.
Yeah, that's what makes
that's
it so
a tough call.
You know, if he can be back by playoffs, it would be a boon. But because the guy's not getting a lot of points, people point to that.
Right.
But his possession numbers are actually huge, and that's one of the strengths of the Islanders is playing a possession game.
Hey, Brian, we're running out of time here today for you. This was great. Can we count on you to come back and talk again?
Absolutely, anytime.
All right.
Hey, man, this was great. So I just want to make sure I got it. So you are, if anybody wants to see some of your work, they can see it on thefourthperiod.com.
That's all one word, and it's fourth spelled out.
Right.
Yeah.
On the,
F-O-U-R-T-H.
it's on the graphic.
F-O-U-R-T-H, not F-O-R-T-H. Okay.
And
Or
if you'd like to
follow me on Twitter, BD Gallof.
At BD Gallof on Twitter. Not only will you get a lot of hockey insight, but you'll get some interesting pictures about the North Shore of Long Island. Hey, BD, I hope you feel better.
Thanks.
And we'll talk again.
Thanks for coming on the show, Brian.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Great talking to you.
Thanks, Brian. That is Brian Gallof.
He's a big Islander fan like us, I think.
Yeah, so what we need on this show is more Islander fans.
Yes.
All righty. We're just getting started here on the Glory Day Show. The Islanders and Rangers are fighting for first place. What is it, 19 games left now?
For the Islanders, it's 19. For the Rangers, I think it's 22, I think.
So when we come back, let's talk to the real hockey maven.
Maven. You're using that word maven again.
I love the word
Where's
maven.
that writer? Who's the writer, man?
We'll have Pete Torgerson on the line to bring us up to date. Later on, we'll update you on why 2 Tennessee girls' high school basketball teams were suspended from playing in their district playoff because when they played each other, they were both trying to lose.
That's unbelievable.
Stay with us. You watch The Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on Radio TV Network. We're coming right back.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Rich Weller. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you get punched in the But if you have this bracelet from InRavio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com. InRavio.com wants you. InRavio provides the best in TV, film, post-production, and so much more. And we're growing. Right now, we're looking for a team of pros that can join us. So what are you waiting for? We need show hosts, production crew, marketing gurus, sales experts, audio engineers, lighting, visual effects, and camera crews. We want you. Go to InRavio.com/join the team.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural.
And organic.
But strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. That was pretty cool talking to
It was great.
Brian.
We'll have him back again. I did want to ask him a question about, there was a term that they taught us at Cooper's, okay? It's about, insiders that can give you information, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know what they call those people? Moles.
Ooh.
Okay, so they taught us a course on mole management, okay? How do you manage your moles,
So are you saying he's a mole?
No, I'm saying his sources are moles, is what they are, okay? So I wanted to ask him how he manages those moles, is what I wanted to ask him. I'll ask him that next time.
We'll bring him back on again.
Yeah, okay.
That was cool. It's it's fun to get stuff like that. We're fans.
Yes.
So we have the same access, maybe a little more access because we have a show. But we basically have the same access that most fans have. Mm-hmm. We watch the team on TV, we read about them in the newspaper. You may hear a little something on TV or something about them. But it's nice to get those types of things.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
All righty. So, spring is right around the corner.
Yep.
We just spent some time talking about, I guess we didn't talk about baseball.
We won't talk about baseball.
Someone needs to update the script.
It's the writer. This writer's falling asleep on a job.
All righty. Forget about it. On our hotline is our all-time favorite guest, a man who has spent considerable time up close and personal with the 3 trophies that every athlete on the planet has always wanted to hold.
Giselle?
No.
Okay.
That's
a trophy
to the
too.
program.
Okay.
Our good friend Pete Torgerson. Pete, are you there?
Hello.
Hey, all right.
how are you?
All right.
I just had a fumble. Holy smokes.
Oh, boy.
Hey, can you do me a favor? You have the other picture?
Which one?
No, not
No.
you, them.
We're talking
I
about
have a great. Here it is. There it is. Let's bring that one up.
The hat
Okay.
trick.
This is the Pete Torgerson hat trick.
The Super Bowl trophy, the Stanley Cup, and the World Series trophy. Pete, you get around, my friend. You really do.
And I was with the NBA trophy, and I declined.
Are there any other league trophies that you've had? Or you've been close enough to?
The world-famous Scafati Cup.
What is that?
That was this league we used to play in, and it was...
That's like the Remfel Cup for us.
Exactly. Actually, that Stanley Cup picture one is a fake one. That was in front of the Nassau Coliseum.
Yes.
And that you just put your arms up. But
I see.
I have a real one in the Devil's locker room in '94.
Oh, okay. You should send me that. I'll update the picture.
There you go. You can't have any fraudulent stuff now with all this Google stuff.
No, otherwise we're going to start calling you Brian Williams II. He really wasn't holding the Stanley Cup in that picture. We're going to get mad emails now from our fan base.
My car didn't get shot at on the way there.
So how are you, Pete?
I'm very well.
The last time we spoke to you, you were drunk from the Super Bowl champion Patriots.
Yes, absolutely. What a nice run that was. That was a good time to be a New Englander, and then it started snowing. So
yeah, it's been snowing ever since, man.
Holy Christ. It's unbelievable.
What are you doing with all that snow? I mean, obviously you're up there. I mean, how much can you shovel, or do you snow blow? What do you do up there?
Well, you can't even snow blow it because the walls are 6, 8, 10 feet high.
Yeah.
So it just goes onto the wall, then you get your mini avalanches coming back at you.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
no place to put it. So.
I was up there last week, and I tell you, driving was very treacherous. Anytime you got to a corner, I mean, you really can't see until you get out into the intersection what's coming.
Right.
It's scary.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the NHL. We're winding down now. We've got about most teams have 20 or less games to play. What have you been thinking about? Obviously the Islanders are a big story up here in the East, but the Rangers have certainly turned their season around.
I was just looking at the standings, and right now, I guess Boston is the last wild card team.
Right, they're up and in there.
69 points, but Philadelphia is kind of a little bit at their heels. They're only 4 points behind, and Philadelphia, I guess, is 6 behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Florida and Philadelphia, but Florida and Philadelphia keep losing. I thought Florida was going to go on a little run and catch the Bruins because the Bruins have been playing so bad. They lost 4 out of 4 on their West Coast trip. Then they hit Chicago on the way home, and they pounded Chicago. They won last night. So Bruins they just don't have it. I was watching the Nashville St. Louis game Thursday night. It doesn't look like it's the same league. It looks like when the Bruins play, they look like an AHL team out there compared to these teams that are in the hunt. And then I went to that Islander Nashville game, and these guys are just bigger and stronger. It's just the Bruins. The Bruins don't have it. I'll be surprised if they make the playoffs this year.
Will you? I mean, right now they're sitting there and they're 4 points ahead, so I think they can squeak in. But I don't know how much noise they're going to make. But of course, once the playoffs start, everybody's got a 0-0 record and starts all over again. So
Pete, but if the playoffs were to start today, they'd open up against Montreal, and
that's true.
They're not even in the same planet as Montreal. Montreal's won like 8 in a row from them. It's just a joke.
Pete,
speaking of Montreal for a second, one thing I didn't realize is that Subban's brother is a goaltender for Boston.
Guess what? I would do a better job than him.
He didn't look too good. I think they pulled him the other night, didn't they, or something?
Yeah, he had 4 shots, 4 goals. He looked like a bad street.
Isn't that good, 4 for 4?
Yeah. My buddies that ref in the AHL, they were laughing. They're like, "This guy stinks. He has no business being up there. He can't handle pucks. He just, oh man."
Well, last week, I believe it was last week, the NHL center ice ticket was free. It was free, so it was like a free preview for the whole week. And I got to see some of those West Coast teams. I got to see St. Louis, and I got to see Anaheim. Me and Kevin were watching. I can't even think of the other game we were watching. But man. Those teams are strong too.
Well, and they've been strong for the last few years, I can tell you that. I think Chicago's injury, though, Patrick Kane is a big injury for them, man,
Big doings in Chicago. There's talk that there's fights in the locker room, and the coach had to deny any rumors that nothing's going on. Everybody's fat and happy, but something's going on out there.
Yeah.
There's too many rumors for nothing to be true. So, and then they got pounded last night, didn't they? They lost to the Lightning 4-0 last night. So
yeah, they got shut out.
And they made a trade. They picked up Kimo Timonen from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but that doesn't fill that gap that Patrick Kane has created, man.
No.
Yeah, but he's a cheeseburger away from another heart attack. Right? Jesus. And Kane,
they have,
that's huge.
but you know what? They have really good cheesesteak in Philadelphia, so maybe that'll help them going to Chicago.
That he's out of there.
Go for that deep dish pizza.
Talking about your Islanders.
Sure.
I love this team. I love the fourth line, and they have McDonald. They brought McDonald back up from Bridgeport.
Yes, he played last night.
Yeah, in the Nashville game, what a pass he made to Letty to get a goal to pretty much clinch it. But that line, they just pound people. They remind me so much of the Bruins' fourth line when they had Payet and Thornton the year they won the Cup.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's what you need. That's analogy that you had on the guy on the Islanders when they were real good. That you need that fourth line to come up, keep it in their zone, and just pound them on the forecheck. And now, guess what? You just beat us up for 45 seconds a minute, and now we got Tavares coming out. So good luck. I like that kid Lee a lot too from Notre Dame.
You know what? The kid's got 20 goals. 20 goals in 50.
20 quiet goals.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know what? He's got that little bit of a sniper in him. He not only is he a good worker behind the net and digging the puck out, but he always seems to be in the right place
for a rebound.
For either a rebound or a deflection. You can't teach that. I mean, if you could teach that, everybody would be that good.
No question. Brock Nelson, Nielsen, they're all good. You know another secret weapon for the Islanders? Ryan Strome. He's plus 21.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys, and no one's talking about Oposo.
Well, I was going to bring him up because he's been out of the picture for a while, but really he was having a great year too, and last year he had a pretty good year, especially with Tavares being down. So
right. So that's a big piece of your puzzle. He gets back. The only thing that scares me with the Islanders is one number, and it's 174 goals against.
Yeah.
They got that's the worst. That's the worst in the playoff teams. Of all the playoff teams, that's a high number. The Rangers are at 148.
Yeah.
Montreal's 135. 174 is a high number for goals against.
It is, and the other thing that bothers me is their penalty kill is pretty bad too.
Yeah.
When the Bruins won the Cup a few years ago, their power play wasn't that good, but their penalty kill was okay.
And again, you could survive without a good power play as long as you have a good penalty kill.
Right.
One of the things that they talked about.
So it'll wash out.
Right, but one of the things they were talking about last night was that they had 25 consecutive kills last night. Calgary, 13 straight games, and the Islanders got a goal on them, power play goal on them last night. But that's
looking out at the West. Mm-hmm. It's a dogfight out there. Minnesota, Calgary, San Jose is dropping like a dead balloon.
Like a rock.
Colorado had that rough stretch in the beginning. I don't know if they have enough juice to get into the playoffs. The team that I love out there is in the last place now is Minnesota. If the opening round Minnesota-Nashville, that will be a series for the ages.
One of the things, and I'd really, obviously I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'd like to know the number of one-goal games the Islanders have been in during the course of this year, because I think that's where this goals against is coming into play.
That'll translate to some success, hopefully, in the playoffs. For sure.
They've had a lot of games where it's no secret that having a lead has never worked for them. Mm-hmm. They've been much better playing from behind. I just don't know what it is about that. Maybe because they don't really have. They don't know how to play with a lead right now. That's one of the things that they haven't learned how to do. Stanley Cup winning teams learn how to play with the lead.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's one thing to be able to come back and fight and claw and stuff like that, but learning how to play with the lead,
when
how to pound
you got to step
opponent.
on their throat.
Right, exactly. And
move to the next
seems,
game.
Obviously, that game against the Rangers the other night, they blew 3 2-goal leads, including a 2-goal lead in the third period. Last night, again, I realize they gave up a goal with 30 seconds left. last night.
Yeah.
But last night they played well with the lead. They didn't just, I don't know what they usually call it, sitting on the lead. They didn't just do that last night. They played
They put in an empty net goal.
Yeah.
And then they got scored on with 20 seconds left. They scored with 40 seconds and then lost it with 20.
A deflection, yeah.
So, and then Halleck had a shot on goal yesterday.
Did he really?
Yeah, it actually
it
looked like it was going to maybe he almost had a goal, really. You know?
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, a quick Garth Snow story. He's from the town next to me up here.
Okay.
But he was at the University of Maine, and my friend Matt Del Judas, who was he was a great hockey player at the University of Maine. He had a short stay with the Bruins. He was a minor leaguer. He played with the U.S. national teams. Great, really good goalie. So he was a junior at Maine, and Snow was a freshman, and Snow was not playing, and he was buried real deep in the depth chart at Maine. So Matt decided to sign with the Bruins, so he left for the Bruins, and then Snow was calling him up just about crying, saying, I can't get a look. So Matt called the Maine coach and said, give this kid a shot, will you please? And sure enough, he gave him a shot, and it turned out, and here we are now.
There you go.
So,
Hey, real fast. I'm running out of time here for a second, but I just wanted to ask you about what Paul Stewart had written about Eric Lindros.
how great is that?
Could you just let everybody know what it was? Now, it was what was it for the Hockey News?
No, Paul writes a blog, and in one of his stories, he was saying how if referees hold grudges, or if you like this guy or don't like that guy. So I guess there was a game in New Jersey, and they were waiting for the TV, that red light that's in the penalty box. They were waiting for that to go off, and Lindros was a 19-year-old rookie, and he said, "Hey, Eric, how we doing? How's your dad?" So Lindros told him to shut the F up and drop the F in puck.
Really?
So yeah. So Bernie Nichols was standing right there. He's like, "Do you believe this kid?" or something like that. So Lindros filed a lawsuit. It started out as a $3 million lawsuit, but now it's down to $250,000 defamation of character because the court document, I don't know if you could say this, doesn't want him to look like I didn't know it was a legal term, dickhead.
Oh, yeah. Really?
So, yeah.
Is that in the dictionary these days?
I think it's a legal term.
Yeah.
But that's in the court document.
It's in the court document, yeah. So, I don't know. So if Stewart wins, does that mean that he is?
I'll vote for that.
Actually, if he wins, shouldn't he get the $230,000?
Right. But if you look at the all the Canadian, the TSN, where I think they broke the story,
Right.
Yahoo, there's 300 comments, and 299 of them are like, oh, I met Lindros at this golf tournament. He's a jerk. He's always been an idiot. He's an idiot. This guy's a jerk. So, it figures he's suing somebody. It just goes on and on and on. Why is it always him that has a problem? So.
All righty, Pete. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going down to Florida next week. I'll try and bring some warm weather back for you.
And
Sounds
we'll
like a plan.
talk to you again as we get into the second season here with hockey.
It'll be
Sounds good.
you could be the third Beatle.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, quick one. Clutterbuck's coming in. Remember when the Islanders got rid of Billy Harris and brought in Butch Goring, and that
Sure.
sort of got him over the hump?
Yes.
So I think he's from
You
that-
think Clutterbuck is the Butch Goring
Well,
of this team?
They've had Clutterbuck for a couple of years, though, and I remember when they got him, I
Right.
was excited because, I remember him playing pretty good for Minnesota, but, he's not like a real star. He's a grinder, and
Right.
he's in the perfect spot now on that fourth line.
Which exactly what Butch Goring was.
Yep, exactly.
All righty,
Exactly.
Pete.
Okay, so, Pete,
All right, guys,
we'll
stay
talk to you
warm.
next week. Stay warm.
Thanks, Pete.
All right.
We're going to take another short break here on the Glory Days show. When we come back, we'll tell you some things you may not have heard about in our Did You Hear About segment. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the InRadio TV network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hansen Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hansen Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansenCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hansen Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com. InRavio.com wants you. InRavio provides the best in TV, film, post-production, and so much more. And we're growing. Right now, we're looking for a team of pros that can join us. So what are you waiting for? We need show hosts, production crew, marketing gurus, sales experts, audio engineers, lighting, visual effects, and camera crews. We want you. Go to InRavio.com/join the team.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural.
And organic.
But strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fair, and we're here with InRavio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. It's time for our Did You Hear About segment. Don't leave me hanging.
Where's that cue? Okay. It's that 7-second delay we have. Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
You know, David Letterman used to fire his producer if when he threw the card, he didn't get the glass break sound, okay? So let's keep that in mind behind the glass over there.
Oh!
Oh, wait a minute.
He gave us a thumbs up.
The mics just went dead. All righty. Here in New York, they, you know, what do we love more than anything here in New York?
I don't know. I love everything about New York.
Girls high school basketball.
That's not on top of my list, man. Okay.
All right. The Public School Athletic League girls basketball playoffs started for the defending champion Francis Lewis High School.
Frankie Louie Bully. Frank Louie Bully. There you go.
They got off to an interesting start as they beat Brooklyn Collegiate 117-8.
Wow.
In the opening round. Okay. They built a 35-4 lead in the first quarter with a ferocious full-court press, stealing the ball on almost every possession. Coach Stephen Tsai, T-S-A-I, then called off the press, pulled all his starters. But even with the substitutes in the game, Brooklyn Collegiate, who won only one game during the regular season.
This was the playoffs?
Yeah, they were unable to score.
How can you make the playoffs with one win?
Well, because everybody makes the playoffs.
I guess.
Everybody's happy. They didn't even score a point in the second half. So this is what Tsai had to say after the game. He said, I always love when the girls that don't get to play out there and the girls who do get to play are on the bench cheering for their teammates.
Okay.
But competitive-wise and game-wise, there wasn't much strategy used tonight. Isn't that special?
What are you, the church lady?
Yeah. But doesn't there come a point
at
some time in the second half, maybe when they were up, I don't know, 65 or 75-8, that the coach says, you know what, when we have the ball, let's just pass it around for 30 seconds and take, before the clock shot expires, and the shot clock expires, and take a shot.
Yeah.
And maybe when they come down the court, let them possess the ball. I mean, don't stand there like a soldier and let them walk by you, but let them take a couple of shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all about sportsmanship. Well, lack of, I guess,
Well,
you know?
Brooklyn coach Rodney Johnson said he wasn't angry at his opponent, but proud of the improvement his team has shown over the course of the season.
Well, how many points did they score in other games? 7? I don't know, 6?
Well, it was a playoff game.
I don't know, you know.
He said, and I quote, we're rebuilding for next year. And we plan on being on the other side of this soon.
Okay.
I just don't know. I just can't understand how something like this happens. How you know, you've got an opponent. To give you a little difference, okay? In baseball, okay. You can't tell the kids. I've never told my kids in baseball, strike out.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd never tell them to make an error.
Not even when it looks like it's starting to rain out?
Well,
you know, when
it
you're
looks
going to
like
get
it's
that
starting
game
to
in,
rain.
you know?
But what you do
Or
tell
it's
them
dark
is
out, you know?
you dial it back a notch. Don't take no extra bases. We go station to station. A single, you go to second. No stealing. No, you know what I mean? But in basketball, they have a shot clock, and they have something that you could use to your advantage to kind of prevent.
They have that in high school basketball too?
They do. They have, but it's not a 24-second clock. I think it's a 30-second clock.
Okay.
So, you know, if that's the case, then every 30 seconds you take a shot.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Yeah.
But this story,
the second one,
is even worse.
Okay. So earlier this week, and now we're going to Tennessee. The 2 Tennessee girls high school basketball teams were banned from their District 7 AAA playoffs because they were both trying to lose a game against each other. I guess that has to do with seeding, huh?
Yeah.
Both Riverdale and Smyrna were placed on restrictive probation by the Tennessee Secondary Athletic Association.
By the way, I got these pictures from their high schools.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh.
No, I didn't.
like that line number 23. Okay. Although both teams pleaded with the organization to allow their teams to continue on while they suspended the coaches, TSAA Director Bernard Childress said the decision to remove both teams stemmed from the action of the players. Both teams were missing free throws, not crossing the half-court line in 10 seconds, not inbounding in 5 seconds, even taking shots at the other team's basket. It got so obvious at one point, the referee called the 2 coaches together for a chat. He said, "This is when I called both coaches together and told them they were not going to make a travesty or mockery of the game. We are not going to start trying to shoot and score for the other team." He said that at one point, a Riverdale player looked at the official and gave him the 3-second signal, wanting to be, and I guess it's this, you know, wanting to be called for that 3-second violation. Childress said the Riverdale head coach had talked to his girls' team about bracketology prior to the game, explaining that where they would seeded in the state championship, state tournament, if they had won, and where they would be if they lost. The winning team would have been placed on the same side of the bracket as state champion and powerhouse Blackman High School, who are ranked number 3 nationally. The loser would be on the other side of the bracket and would not have to worry about Blackman until they got to the finals, if they got to the finals.
Right.
Smyrna eventually won the game 55-29, but scored most of their points in the final minutes.
So it's I guess, you know, something like this always, to me, I just never understood it.
Talk about the integrity of the game. I mean, talk about that all the time. And this is another case of they're making a mockery of the integrity of the game.
Right, and I know that they said that, that the commissioner of the Athletic Association said he's blaming the players because it was the players that were actually doing it.
But the coaches are pulling the strings here, my friend.
Of course the coaches are pulling the strings. And they were saying, oh, well, is it not fair that we did this for, that these girls have to lose because of the... I'm sorry. You know what? If you think that you're going to put something over on somebody...
All I can think of is Herman Edwards. You play the game to win.
Right, that's exactly...
So where does that doesn't fit into this equation, though?
But tanking is a part of sports. You know what I mean? It always has been. And I know we're running out of time, so we'll do this one.
Tanked up is part of sports. Okay, that's a different story.
We'll do this one. We'll do this real fast. The NBA has got this problem with tanking, which is why they created the lottery system.
Yeah.
Now, we all know about tanking because we have fantasy football teams. And we know that what we used to do, because people would just purposely put in bad lineups at the end.
You
purposely try to lose the game because you want to get a good
number one pick.
Right. Now, in the NBA, you only have 5 players. So you get yourself a top collegiate player, that makes your team completely different. Remember the first lottery that they had? It was exactly 30 years ago. It was the Patrick Ewing.
Yes, I do remember that.
And what they did was they took all the non-playoff teams and they put an envelope, one envelope with their logo in it, in a giant drum, and they mixed it. So that there were 10 envelopes. They picked one out, and lo and behold, it was the Knicks. And the Knicks picked
Dave
Patrick
Ewing.
Was
going crazy
right?
About
Remember,
that.
he was doing a dance,
Yeah.
and, right? Well, since then, it's got so sophisticated that they now use a ping pong ball system, but it's not what I thought anyway. I thought it was, if you come in last, you get 10 ping pong balls. If you come in second, you got 9, you got 8, and whatever.
So it's weighted that way.
It's not done that way.
No?
They do it like lotto. Yeah, they give you, they put the balls in, and they pick out the numbers, and depending on the combination that gets picked out, that's who gets the team.
Really?
Yeah. So if you are the worst team, you get more combinations than the next team and the next team. It's so convoluted.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
But you know what? The thing is that the NBA is actually looking at it. You know what I mean? They actually know that their teams are that people. It's the perception that you throw in the game. But the difference is now. They're not trying to lose the games. What they're doing is
they're trying to win the lottery.
No,
they're trying to do. Okay.
No, they're trading their players and bringing up bad players, and that's how they're losing. So they're not losing with
Bring
good
up the guys
players.
From the D-League.
Yes, well, look at what's going on with the Knicks right now.
Yep.
And they said the reason that they think this is happening is because there's so many teams that right now are under the cap that they can afford to make these trades. Because before that, who's taking Amari Stoudemire?
Yeah.
Who's taking J.R. Shumpert with those gigantically bloated contracts? But teams can fit them under the cap. So the NBA is really looking into it, and I really don't know if I have a good answer for it. I don't know how you prevent teams from doing that.
Well, hopefully they do, because they're the ones that are in charge. Okay. It's like a write-off, Disco.
It's a write-off. Do you even know what a write-off is?
Do you?
No. But they do.
That's right, and they're doing the write-offs. There you go. That's why I say let's leave it with the NBA.
All righty. So I tell you what, let's take one more break.
Let's do that.
When we come back.
Okay.
You made it this far. We'll wrap things up when we come back. Watch the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco only on the Radio TV Network. Coming right back. I wanted to get that.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. InRavio.com wants you. InRavio provides the best in TV, film, post-production, and so much more. And we're growing. Right now, we're looking for a team of pros that can join us. So what are you waiting for? We need show hosts, production crew, marketing gurus, sales experts, audio engineers, lighting, visual effects, and camera crews. We want you. Go to InRavio.com/join the team.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. I just wanted to touch real fast on the, we spent a lot of time on it last week.
The Academy Awards.
One of my favorite things of the year, which is the Academy Awards. And I just want to let you know, Tommy Gatto, I know you are our movie maven. Wait, shouldn't this be Glory Days Mavens? You are a movie man. But I got 5 out of 6 on the movie things right here. So if you had gone to Vegas on my picks,
yep.
I don't know if you could have made it.
What are the odds, that one?
I don't know, but I should have checked that before.
Which one did you get wrong?
The only one I got wrong was director.
Director.
Because I thought the guy from Boyhood would win the director, Richard Linklater.
And I think you had posted something saying that you really don't think that they should have a director category at
No,
all.
I don't.
Really,
because
whoever wins the movie should win a director.
Because I don't understand. Right, I don't understand how you can have the best picture and not have the best director.
Yep.
And that did work out. It worked out that way for Birdman, best director, best picture. Michael Keaton did not win the best actor.
They brought him up on stage, and he had a few words to say at the end. I watched only a little bit of it.
Did you notice there was a thing? You know how they have like all the guys, you know, when they're getting ready to announce the winner of the best actor. As soon as he lost, he went like this. He was sitting there and he lost. You could see, you know, whoever what's his name won, the guy from Theory of Everything, Eddie Redmayne. They said Eddie Redmayne, and you saw Michael Keaton go like this.
Oh, yeah.
He put his speech back in his pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Which was kind of funny.
Wasn't snuff, I hope.
I don't know. So, but Michael Keaton did not win it. Tommy Gatto thought Michael Keaton would win. He also thought that Boyhood was going to win for Best Picture. But I tell you, when I saw Birdman, I said that was it. Birdman.
I got to go see that movie. And obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but because you say obviously all the time, so I don't want to say anything against you. But
obviously.
But I guess that Whiplash,
Whiplash was fantastic.
Supporting actor for Whiplash won too.
And I was supposed to, no, I couldn't bring you that copy of that movie because I don't have one.
Okay. I'll go see that in the movies as well.
Go see that one.
All right, I'll do that.
All righty, we are just about out of time here.
So we're going to talk about what we learned today?
What did you learn today?
The one thing I learned today is that the term dickhead seems to be a legal term these days.
Okay? A legal term.
Now, I don't know if you put big in front of that, big dickhead, or is it just dickhead itself?
We want to be able to be on the air next week.
Okay, all right.
All righty, thanks to our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work and making us look so good today.
Yes.
And thanks to our hotline guest, Brian Gallof.
Yes.
You follow him at BD Gallof on Twitter. And, of course, Pete Torgerson helping out with the NHL.
The hockey maven.
Yeah. Thanks to Chuck and Bonnie putting up with this nonsense week after week. And, of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory Days on the Glory Days on Demand page, www.nravio.com. You can watch any of our past shows. We will not have a live show for you next week because I'll be down in Port St. Louis, Lucy, trying to see some of spring training. You know what? Maybe we could replay our big game show next
We'll
week.
have to ask the producers about that.
All right, in our regular times. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Stay safe. See you in about 2 weeks.
Very good.
InRavio.com.